After my stepmom moved in, she replaced all the family photos with hers. When I asked where my graduation picture went, she said, it didn't fit the aesthetic. My dad said nothing. At family dinner, she served everyone steak and gave me a microwave meal. I ate in silence. When I left, she whispered, "This was never your home." I didn't come back for years. On her birthday, she got a card with no return address. Inside was a photo of me, standing with her first husband. I've never written something like this before, but I can't keep it in anymore. It's been sitting inside me for too long. I've tried moving on, tried forgetting what happened. But some things don't fade. Some things get louder with time. So here it is. This is the story of how my stepmom tried to erase me and how I made sure she'd never forget I existed. It started when I was 17. My mom had just died 3 months earlier in a car crash. She worked nights at the hospital in Youngstown, Ohio, and one night, she hit a patch of black ice on Route 17. Lost control. The doctors said she didn't feel a thing. That didn't help. It was still sudden and brutal. She was the glue in our house. After she died, everything got quiet. My dad and I ate dinner in silence. He didn't talk much. Neither did I. But that didn't last long. About 5 months after her funeral, my dad came home with a woman named Cynthia. Just like that. No warning. He didn't ask how I'd feel. Didn't even sit me down for a talk. He just brought her over one night and said, "This is Cynthia. We've been seeing each other." She looked like one of those women who carry a little lap dog in their purse and post daily motivation quotes on Facebook. Blonde, big fake smile, always smelling like vanilla and expensive lotion. From the minute she walked into our house, I knew something was off. Too cheerful. Too eager to take over. It didn't take long for her to move in. 2 weeks later, her stuff was everywhere. Her throw pillows on the couch, her weird crystal candle holders on the table, her wine fridge in the kitchen. She didn't ask. She just did it. Then she started making changes. Big ones. First, she took down all the pictures in the hallway. Every single one. Photos of me as a kid, pictures of my mom and dad, old Christmas cards gone. In their place? Glossy studio portraits of Cynthia. Cynthia smiling in a field. Cynthia doing yoga. Cynthia with some friends I didn't recognize. I couldn't believe it. I asked her one day, "Where's my graduation picture?" The one my mom framed. She didn't even look up from her phone. Just said, it didn't fit the aesthetic. I stood there waiting for her to laugh. For her to say she was kidding. She never did. I turned to my dad. He just rubbed his eyes and said nothing. Not one word. I knew then that he wasn't going to protect me. He'd already chosen her. Things got worse after that. She started calling my bedroom the guest room. She changed the bedsheets, painted the walls. My trophies and posters ended up in boxes in the garage. When I asked about them, she said, "I'm just making things less cluttered." She'd cook full dinners for her and my dad. Steaks, roasted potatoes, grilled veggies. Then she'd leave a frozen microwave meal on the counter for me. Every single night. No plate. No utensils. Like I was some squatter she tolerated. One night, I sat down at the table anyway. Just to see what would happen. She stared at me. My dad looked uncomfortable but didn't say anything. They both started eating. Cynthia cut into her steak like nothing was wrong. I quietly unwrapped my plastic tray of meatloaf and mashed potatoes. Ate it cold. When I finished, I stood up. Didn't say a word. As I turned to walk out, she leaned in and whispered, "This was never your home." I didn't respond. I just went to my room. I packed a bag. A few clothes, my wallet, my phone, some cash I'd saved. I was gone before sunrise. I stayed with my cousin in Toledo for a while. He didn't ask many questions. He just let me crash on his couch. I told him the basics. Not everything. I never went back home. Not for Christmas. Not for my birthday. Not when my dad had surgery. Cynthia sent me one text after his mild stroke. It said, "You should call." I didn't, but I kept tabs. I watched from a distance. Cynthia posted everything online. She was one of those people who lived for likes. Pictures of her in our old backyard, brunch selfies, yoga poses, captions like "grateful for the simple things" next to a photo of her drinking wine by our fireplace, my mom's fireplace. I never commented. I never liked anything. But I watched. Then I started looking into her past. It started out as boredom, but quickly turned into something else. I wanted to know who she was before us. Before she crawled into our lives and took over. I found out she used to live in Indiana. Terre Haute. I started digging. Public records showed a divorce in 2005. Name: Stephen Caraway. No kids. No remarriage. I found him. He ran a small auto shop near Route 41. Took me weeks to get up the nerve, but I called. Told him I was planning a high school reunion and wanted to confirm details. He was suspicious at first, but then he said, "Yeah, that was my ex. We haven't talked in years. She left me for some guy she worked with. Took half my stuff." That was all I needed. I didn't just want revenge. I wanted her to feel what I felt. Like the floor was ripped out beneath her. So I had a friend help me with a photo. We took an old picture of Cynthia from her Instagram. I was added in, standing next to Stephen, both of us smiling. Behind us was a sign that said Caraway's Auto and Tire. It looked real, like a photo someone might have taken at a party or a reunion. Then I bought a birthday card. Soft pink, with roses on the front. Inside, I wrote nothing. I put the photo in it. Sealed it. No return address. Sent it to her house. 3 days later, she deleted all her social media. A week after that, my dad called. For the first time in years. His voice was tight. Angry. "What the hell did you do?" he asked. I hung up. Because I wasn't done yet. My dad kept calling after that. Left voicemails. First angry, then confused, then quiet. One of them just said, "You've got to stop this. Please." I didn't answer any of them. Then Cynthia started texting me. I hadn't heard from her since I left. Her first message said, "Why are you doing this?" I ignored her. 3 hours later, "You don't know the whole story." Then, "If you try to ruin my life, I swear I'll ruin yours." That one made me laugh. As if she hadn't already ruined mine. But then something strange happened. I got a letter. Handwritten. From Stephen Caraway. I don't know how he found my address. Maybe from a people search site. Maybe from a mutual connection I didn't realize. Either way, the envelope was real, and so was his handwriting. Inside was a single page. "I don't know why you sent me that photo. I don't want anything to do with Cynthia again. But you should know she lied to you too. About a lot. If you want to talk, call me. This is my cell. Stephen." I stared at that note for a long time. My hands were sweating. Something about it felt off. I didn't call him. Not yet. But now I needed answers. So I drove back to Youngstown. First time in over 4 years. I didn't go to the house. I couldn't. Not yet. I went to the library. The one where my mom used to take me after school. I logged into one of the computers and searched for Cynthia's name. Public records, news articles, anything. And there it was. A small article from 2006. Local nurse dismissed after misconduct allegations. Her name. Her photo. The hospital she worked at. It didn't say much. Just that there was an internal investigation and she was quietly let go. No charges filed. That hospital? The same one my mom used to work at. My stomach dropped. I pulled up my mom's old coworker on Facebook. Missy. She used to come over for dinner sometimes when I was a kid. I messaged her. "Hi Missy, this is Opie's name. I have a question about someone who used to work at the hospital with my mom." She replied 10 minutes later. "Oh honey, I remember you. I'm so sorry about your mom." "What's your question?" I told her. Straight out. What do you know about Cynthia from back then? She went silent for almost an hour. Then she sent a voice memo. I pressed play. Your mom didn't die on accident, sweetheart. She was run off the road. I sat there frozen. The screen felt blurry. There were rumors back then. Your mom had been arguing with a woman at work. Over a man. Cynthia. I never knew for sure. The police didn't investigate it as foul play. But your mom? She told me once, a week before the crash, that she was scared. That someone had been following her. I didn't even notice my hand shaking until I dropped the phone. I went outside. Sat in my car. Tried to breathe. None of this made sense. But it did. It made too much sense. Cynthia didn't just try to erase me. She might have had something to do with my mom's death. I needed proof. I needed answers. I needed someone to say it out loud. So I called Steven. Why did you send me that letter? I asked. He sighed. Because you don't know who she is. Cynthia isn't just a manipulator. She's dangerous. She lied to you. She lied to everyone. She lied about what happened with your mom too. I didn't say anything. I just let him talk. He told me everything. About how Cynthia used to talk about a coworker she couldn't stand, how she claimed the woman was trying to get her fired, how she bragged about getting even. I thought she was just venting, Steven said. Until the woman died. Then Cynthia acted like it was a gift from the universe. I felt like I was going to throw up. This wasn't just about photo frames anymore. This wasn't just about a microwave dinner. This was about murder. And now I had to decide what to do with that. I sat in my car outside the library for a long time. Hours. The sun went down and I still hadn't moved. What Steven told me, it wouldn't leave my head. If Cynthia had something to do with my mom's death, then everything that came after. Moving into our house, erasing my mom's memory, turning my dad against me, it wasn't just cruel. It was sick. But I couldn't prove anything. The police had ruled it an accident. The car was totaled. The roads had been icy. It had looked clean. Still, Missy's voice kept replaying in my mind. Your mom told me someone was following her. I decided to call Missy back and ask more. I needed details. Dates. Something solid. We talked on the phone for an hour. She told me that my mom and Cynthia had a real feud at work. That they fought during shifts. That my mom had gone to HR about Cynthia falsifying patient notes. There was even a formal complaint. And the part that got me, Missy said Cynthia had started dating someone new right before she got fired. Someone from the hospital. A doctor. Your mom told me that woman was dangerous, Missy said. She said she was scared, but she didn't want to make a scene. She didn't want you to worry. Then Missy said something else. She showed me a letter once. Anonymous. Threatening. It said, you need to back off before you get hurt. Your mom kept it in her locker. I asked if anyone had a copy. Missy said she didn't think so. That after the crash, the locker had been emptied and the hospital swept it all under the rug. They wanted it gone. It all made sense now. Cynthia had a motive. She was on the edge at work. My mom had been the one who filed the report that got her fired. Then my mom died. And somehow, months later, Cynthia wormed her way into our house, into my dad's life. Like she'd been waiting. But I still had nothing concrete. So I did something risky. I emailed the hospital under a fake name. Said I was a freelance reporter writing a piece on nurses wrongfully terminated and wanted records related to a 2006 incident involving Cynthia Caraway. I didn't expect anything. But a week later, someone in HR made a mistake. They sent me a digital record. A summary of an internal complaint filed by Elaine, my mom's name, against Cynthia. It mentioned patient neglect, falsified records, and workplace harassment. There was also a note, employee warned multiple times. Final warning issued 1 week before Elaine's passing. That was the proof I needed. Cynthia had motive. She was being pushed out. My mom had done it. I started thinking about going to the police. But then something happened I didn't expect. My cousin, whose place I had stayed at after leaving home, texted me. Bro, I think someone's been snooping around the house. He said he came home one night and saw a car parked across the street. Same car, 2 nights in a row. Windows tinted. Then someone broke into his mailbox. He called the police, but nothing came of it. I knew it was her. Cynthia knew I was digging. I decided I had to act fast. Before she did. But not with cops. Not yet. I had one last idea. One last way to break her. If she was hiding something, she'd panic under pressure. I knew how to push her. I booked a motel room just outside of Youngstown. Then I printed copies of every document I had, her complaint file, the article about her dismissal, screenshots of her deleted Instagram, Steven's letter. I put everything in a plain manila envelope and mailed it. Addressed to her. No return address. Inside, I wrote one line. You said this was never my home. Then why are you so scared I'm coming back to it? 2 days later, I got a call from my dad. This time he sounded shaken. She's gone, he said. She packed her stuff and left this morning. No explanation. Just said she was done living in the past. What the hell is going on? I didn't answer. I just let him sit in it. But that wasn't the twist. The twist came a week later. A letter arrived at my motel. Handwritten, no name. Inside were photographs of my mom. From the hospital. From behind a desk. From the parking lot. They weren't mine. They weren't my dad's. They were surveillance photos. Whoever took them had been following her. And in the corner of one photo, clear as day, was Cynthia's car. Parked across the street. Just sitting there. Watching. The photos shook me. I sat on the edge of the motel bed, staring at them for hours. My mom in her nurse scrubs, walking to her car, carrying her lunch. Ordinary moments. Caught on camera. Followed. Watched. I flipped through them again, slower this time. And there it was, her face. Cynthia. In the side mirror of her own car. A blurry reflection, but it was her. Same hairstyle. Same sunglasses. Parked across from the hospital, watching my mom. It wasn't just suspicion anymore. She had been following her. I took everything I had, every document, the photos, the HR complaint, the statement from Missy, and walked into the Youngstown Police Department. I asked to speak with a detective. At first, they brushed me off. Said it had been years. Said the case was closed. But when I showed them the photo, the one with Cynthia's reflection, they changed their tone. The detective took the packet and said, "We'll look into it." I didn't hear back for 2 weeks. Then I got a call. They reopened the case. Not officially, but they were reviewing the crash and interviewing old witnesses. I wasn't expecting that. I thought maybe I'd just rattle Cynthia. Maybe scare her off. But this was bigger now. Meanwhile, Cynthia had disappeared. Deleted all her accounts. No one knew where she went. My dad said she didn't leave a forwarding address. He sounded different now. Softer. Like the fog had lifted. He asked me to come home. I said I'd think about it. A few days later, I got a call from Steven. "You need to see something," he said. He emailed me a screenshot from an online message board. It was a post, short and vague, under a fake name. If someone dies and there are no witnesses, does it matter what they did to deserve it? There was no proof it was her. But the username? It was the same handle Cynthia used to use on Instagram. Just a flipped version. That's when I realized she wasn't scared. She was proud. I felt sick. I needed her to feel the same fear she gave my mom. The same fear she gave me when she whispered, "This was never your home." So I tracked her. I hired a friend, an ex-cop who now did private work. Took him a month, but he found her. Arizona. New name. New job. Working as a caregiver for elderly patients. Of all things. I got on a plane. When I saw her, I didn't recognize her at first. She looked older. Tired. Thinner. She was walking out of a grocery store, loading a bag into her car. I waited until she pulled into her driveway, then I got out. She saw me as she stepped out of her car. Her face froze. She didn't say anything. I walked up slow, holding nothing. No threats. Just truth. You followed my mom. She blinked, tightened her jaw. You watched her. You threatened her. And now you're hiding out here like a coward. She didn't deny it. She didn't admit it either. She just said, it was never supposed to go that far. That was it. No apology. No tears. Just a selfish woman admitting she'd gone too far, like she spilled a drink, not ended a life. I looked her in the eye and said, I'm not going to the police again. I already did that, but I'm going to everyone else. I turned and walked away. Over the next few months, I sent every photo, every document, and a full written report to every place she applied to work. I mailed packets to her clients' families. I put together an anonymous site with the full timeline, photos, dates, hospital complaints. I let the internet take care of the rest. Within weeks, she was fired, blacklisted, exposed. My dad filed for divorce once he saw everything. Turns out Cynthia had taken out a hidden life insurance policy on him the year before. She lost everything. And me? I went home. The house was quiet, empty. But I walked back in, step by step. I put my mom's photo back up in the hallway, right where it used to be. I made dinner the way she did. Steak. For myself. No microwave tray. I sat down at the table. And, for the first time in years, I felt like I was home. Because I took it back. Piece by piece. She thought she could erase me. But I reminded her, some people don't fade. Some of us remember everything.